Well, on behalf of the Gallop TV team, myself, Dees Diner, and of course Grant Paddock, our analyst, to you, the valued racing fan, a good day to you. It's racing in Gqeberha. We on Friday the 29th. What's happening at Fairview? Well, it's 8 races on the poly track, and race number 1 will kick off the bipod. Let's greet and welcome our analyst from Fairview for the show, who's none other than Grant Paddock. And Grant, can you believe it? We're at the end of September. It's downhill from here to the end of the year, isn't it?
Well, hopefully not downhill, Dees. Hopefully it improves a little bit, I must say. But morning, Dees, and morning, punters. Weather's been good down here. The last 2 days we've had some amazing rain, and the dams are filling up, so it's been very good. Unfortunately, it does make it very difficult for the trainers to prepare horses. But thank God for the poly track, Dees.
Yeah, the poly track is very popular on a Friday whenever they race at Fairview. Race number 1, Grant. It's a maiden plate for fillies and mares. It's over 1,200 meters. And as always, we'll give you the betting horses that are in single figures in race number 1 as we pull up that field. Horse number 2, Dawn of Gold, has got a form update. Finished 3rd on the 22nd of September, which is a week ago. 1.5 lengths behind St. Cloud. That's at 4-1. And I see an equipment change as well, Grant. The cheek pieces go on. Number 6 is at 7-1. And then we got Gideon's Daughter, Alan Kriev's runner, which is at 5-2. Have you got something for us in the first to get us off to a flyer, or nothing too confident?
Nah, nothing too confident yet. These are a couple of horses that have got decent chances. I did hear a bit on the ground talk for this horse, More Than a Dream. I know they backed it for a lot of money. First time out from 16-1 to 3-1. Probably just needed the run, but I don't like that story of coming back coughing. I'm a little bit scared of that. I watched this horse, Dawn of Gold, run last week, and I think the style of her running is definitely going to suit the poly, definitely going to suit being back 200 meters. She's a very quick filly, got a lot of gate speed, and I think that she'll be making it out of the running. Gideon's Daughter, first time out. There wasn't much money for her. She ran a fair race, but was very, very green. Now going around the turn from a bad draw. I know she's favourite. Punters need to be a little bit careful there. Greenness might catch her out. And then Impressive Nessie, also very good first run. Just needing the run, probably went a little bit on the quick side, but for her first time around the poly, could be interesting. But I think Dawn of Gold's the right horse here, Dean. I've gone for her to beat Gideon's Daughter, the 5, More Than a Dream, and then the 1, Nairobi.
Yeah, some nice value there. Well spotted, Grant. The money came for number 5 last time out, More Than a Dream, and she was having her first run in the province. And I think Grant could be spots on there with number 5, More Than a Dream. If she's come on, I think she could be a massive player there. Race number 1 over 1,200 meters. So Grant's giving you a few numbers to play around in that bipod, but he likes the value there, number 5. Race number 2, place accumulator time. It's over 1,900 meters. It's an open maiden. The way they're betting here, Grant, number 1, Red William, is at 33-10. There is money, Hollywoodbets, for number 2, 6-1 into 5-1, 3 at 6-1, 4 at 5-1, 5 at 7-1. Then we go on to an 8-1 shot, which is horse number 10, Military Man. 11 is a scratching at the time of recording, so we'll have 13 runners that are carded at this stage. Start of the place accumulator, Grant. Have you managed to narrow this down, or you think it's a bit more tricky than just 2 or 3 runners?
I've narrowed it down to the 2 horses that have got the improvement. You know, the rest of from 3 down to the bottom, they've all had enough chances to win a race. They're battling maidens, and maybe one day they'll get it in a slightly weaker field. The form lines of Red William in the Cape form lines are way too strong for this field. I know he's giving weight being a maiden handicap. He's giving weight all around, but those form lines are very, very strong. If he takes to the poly surface, I think he'll win. The main danger, and there's a lot of talk on the ground for this horse, number 2, Slant Mouth. I see there is early money for it as well. So I think he's definitely going to be an improver, only having his 3rd run. The bipod as well as the place accumulator, the 1 and 2 are going to get you through these.
1 and 2 for Grant. Grant, I know you mentioned these horses are battling, and someday going to get it right. Are we over with this horse, Joe Harmon? Are we over with him?
Yeah, he's an ATM for the owners. He brings his place check home. I think others preferred for the win.
Others preferred for the win, numbers 1 and 2. And going with a horse that just attracted some anti-post, Hollywoodbets 6-1 into 5-1. And then Red William, the runner from the Glen Cotson stable. 1 and 2, according to Grant, should be good enough for that place accumulator. Then on to the big one, the pick 6. 1400 hours, 2 o'clock. Look sharp, you need to get that bet on. It's always a decent pool on a Friday at Fairview. And if you get the perm right, you could be standing to collect come race number 8. It's over 1900 meters, Grants. It's a merit-rated 78 handicap. Now, number 1 is at 5-2, 2 at 5-1. Number 6 is at 5-1. 8 is at 8-1. And numbers 12 and 14 are scratched at this stage of the game. We record this a day earlier. Yeah, I think we'll begin with the topic of Pierre Stradom here, Grant. Of course, he's a local, I like to call him hero in that part of the world because that's where he comes from and what he's achieved throughout his career. I don't know when last he's been to Port Elizabeth to ride, but he's there to ride 4 horses for his brother Jock, and I'm sure you would have had a look at those mounts closely.
Yeah, Dees, I have had a look at them. He's riding a horse that ran an unbelievably good race last time out, being beaten 0.15 by grazing in the grass. I don't need to tell you, that's a 13-time winner that's won pretty much everything in Port Elizabeth. Reproducing that run, it's got to be a massive runner. He's been off for 77 days, which is a little bit of a concern. Maybe he might just need it, or maybe there's a niggle or two. But Super Silver on form, undoubtedly the right horse. I don't like this race, to be very honest with you, Dees. I've gone very wide here. My place accumulator, I've gone 1, 4, and 8. Irish Reigns, another horse that's been running very close up lately, and he's definitely a runner. There's no doubt, from a very good draw. So my boy Reese, also a very good poly horse. He does well. And Question Master won a very, very good race last time out. These are very tricky race. Punters need to go wide here. My place accumulator, I went 1, 4, 8. Pick 6, you're going to have to go as wide as possible. I don't like this race at all.
Well, that is good advice because, when Grant often suggests that the race looks tricky, it often throws up a result. So if you can get the result that you require in race number 3, you will drop tickets in race number 3, which will be leg 1 of that pick 6. Again, I remind you, 2 o'clock you need to get those bets on. So Grant numbers in no particular order. For the PA, I think his numbers were 1, 4, and 8. But for the pick 6, he's saying wide as possible. Play for the result. If you get it, you're in the pound seats after leg 1. Race number 4, 1435. It's over 1,600 meters. It's a merit-rated 72 handicap. Grant, this is the way they're betting. Number 1, Climate Control, who I see as blinkers on, is 28-10. Then we go on to number 4, Euphoric at 7-1. Number 5, Light Without at 8-1. Then horse number 9, Storm Commander at 7-1. And a runner that I think is a massive runner here, although, I just looked at the weight, is slightly under sufferance. 11 Grand Destiny carrying 52 kgs. I think, Grant, I'd like to pass this on to you because I personally thought that, this horse, the way he's been racing, trying, maybe this could be the right field, even though it's not ideal for him, but he does have a low weight, 52 kgs, 11 Grand Destiny.
He's a definite trier. You know that he's a horse that'll come to the races. He'll run his best race, and he'll always be in the money for you. But I found this horse, number 1, Climate Control. If he's even half well, he'll put this field to sleep. There's no doubt. He's been running in average ratings of 83, 77, 76, 88. He's running where the average rating is now down to 66. Richard Furiap, they've slapped a pair of blinkers on. He's been running 2 to 3 lengths off them in Johannesburg. I think he'll be a very, very hard horse to beat. I have backed him up with the 11 in the place accumulator in case he doesn't take to the poly, but I'm sure Alan will have him spot on. They've added the blinkers and the tongue tie. So for me, I'm strong on Climate Control. And then if people want to go a bit bigger, you add in Grand Destiny, Light Without slightly on the sharp side, and a horse called Euphoric. But I think this race is for Climate Control.
Amazing, Grant. You watch races all over the country. It's just amazing how this horse has underachieved the Climate Control. He's only a one-time winner, Grant.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And he's run to some very, very good horses, you know. But I think Alan's definitely found the right race. He's got the right handicap, and I think he's a massive, massive runner, Dees.
28 to 10, you sounding like that could be a generous price.
These, I think it's very generous. If you break down the form lines, they're probably a bit scared of the bad draw. But you know, he's a horse that goes handy, and he's probably been on the track already. You know, they haven't had work tracks to work on, so they've been on the poly. I think probably the draw that's putting them off. But I think 28 to 10 is a very decent price in this field.
Yo, I like that. Grant's just given me a bit more confidence here with number 1, Climate Control, because just like most, I followed his career throughout, and maybe the move to Gqeberha could see him now become a multiple winner, because he's still a one-time winner. Race number 5, 1,000 meters. This is a novice plate, and we often go to the best weighted column, which we'll have a look at. Number 1 at 7 to 1, number 4 at 7 to 1, 5 at 8 to 1, 7 at 6 to 1. Then we got the 3-year-old fillies. Number 10, Paris Lass at 5 to 2, and 11, Summer Odyssey at 28 to 10. This best weighted column, I don't know if it paints a picture for you, Grant. 11 and 10, which are the 2 fillies, they top it at 85. Then Bubbles and Beads at 81, that's horse number 7. 2 Maserati Road 75, and 5 Global Force at 70. Those are the top 5 there. Does it paint that type of picture for you with these 3-year-old fillies at the bottom there? Possibly the ones to dominate or not?
No, Dave, not for me. I'll be honest with you. The 11-horse Summer Odyssey had a very hard 2-year-old career. She's now coming back for her first run as a 3-year-old. Probably just going to need it. She's a fairly quick filly. She's ran against some decent 2-year-olds, but I must tell you, our 2-year-old crop from last season was not very good, bar Luna Halo and Questor. Paris Lass, a filly that looks like she's got the right kind of a form, 2.5 lengths of 3 rocks, and 3 rocks I think is now won 4 in a row. Unfortunately, this filly seems to have a run and then go off, and another run and go off, and it's pretty much the same situation. She's been off for 84 days, so we've got to watch her go down. These Bobbles and Beads is a tricky kind of a horse. Also, a very good run to 3 runs ago, 2.25, and she's holding solid form. And then a horse that's now back on the poly, which I'm very excited to see back on the poly, is number 4, Abound. He's actually my value bet from the day, from a very good draw. He's a horse that shows a lot of pace on the poly, and he has been off for 60 days. He has had a niggle, but he's over it and had 2 gallops. These, I think he'll definitely be in the money, and as I say, my value for the day. I've gone 4 and 7 in my pie pot and place accumulator, and the other 2 fillies you need to add in the pick 6.
Good advice there, because those 2 3-year-old fillies are priced up on top, 28 to 10 and 5 to 2, or 5 to 2 and 28 to 10, numbers 10 and 11 respectively. But Grant's found a 7 to 1 shot here at the time of recording, and usually when he tips them at these odds, that price never lasts come race day. So 7 to 1, it's whoever listening to the show first that's going to get on, because that's the way it is. Race 5. 4 and 7 seem to be the horses for Grant, but nice value there with horse number 4, Abound. On to race number 6. This is where the last pick 3 will take place. It's over 1,400 meters, and these pick 3s, especially, if you get the result, they certainly worth chasing. And this last pick 3 does not look easy. What are they betting here? This is, by the way, guys, this is the Nelson Mandela Bay Racing Poly Challenge. 1,400 meters, powered by Betway, and it's for a stake of 175,000, of which the first prize is just a shade under 110,000 rand. So number 1, Prince of Fire, is at 4 to 1. 2, Port Louis, is at 7 to 2. Then we go on to a horse that's attracted some anti-post betting money, Grant. It's that man, Pierre Stradum, that's in town for his brother, Gallic Tribe, 6 to 1 into 4 to 1 Hollywood bets. Number 11, And We Dance, at 9 to 2. And another horse that's been backed in from big odds is number 12, Norton Sound. Somebody said, I'll take the 33 to 1. That is shortened into 20 to 1. There is some quality to speak about here, Grant. Obviously, some of these horses love the surface, but there is some quality to speak about.
Definitely, D's. I've made it a 2-horse race, and I'm very strong on number 2, Port Louis. Unfortunately, last time he was drawn 10 out of 13, raced 3-4 wide the whole way, and still ran on to get beaten 0.95 by Prince of Fire. He's now got a 1 draw, whereas Prince of Fire is out at 13. Very, very, very hard horse to beat, and I think the 7-2 is a very good price. His only danger in this race is number 7, Gaelic Club, who was slightly in front of him last time out, but a concern is the draw of 10, and he doesn't really get himself into a race. Pierre's going to have to make up a lot of ground, and I don't think he'll be able to do it with the likes of Port Louis. So I'm going very, very strong on Port Louis. He's my best bet on the card. He's my banker in my pick 6 and everything else. And danger to him will be Gaelic Tribe.
Now you are leaving the mare on the side this time round because you've gone for her in the past where she's been kind to you. And we danced. Why are we leaving her out?
D's 1400 a bit on the, well, it is on the sharp side. She's drawn out at 11. She's done her best against the girls, and I think this race is a little bit on the tough side for her.
Okay, we respect that from Grant, but I'm sure there'll be guys out there that'll say, you know what, she's rewarded me in the past. I've gone for her. I have to include her just for sentiment's sake, number 11, and we dance. And I'm going to be one of those, Grant. I'll be gutted if she has to come through and topple the boys here, and I haven't got her in. So 1 and 2 for Grant, but he likes number 2, Port Louis, with that big draw swing around, as he mentioned. At 7-2, Luke Surprise. He makes number 7, Gaelic Tribe, a massive runner. A lot of respect for number 1, Prince of Fire. And I'm not going to be leaving out number 11, And We Dance, just on the fact that she's been so kind to us in the past, and she runs her heart out each time she comes to the races. Race number 7, 1200 meters, fillies and mares, 66 handicap. What are we doing here? Let's have a look at the field, and then we'll go through the betting horses in single figures. Number 2, Defining Moment is at 7-1. 3, Crew of Ice at 6-1. 5, United Express at 11-2. 6, Global Goddess at 7-1. 3-1, that's Itebe Labusifasane. I love saying that name. Itebe Labusifasane. 3-1. And then it is double figures, the balance. Well, Grant, compliments to you, because the last time we did the show, which was on the 15th of September, Itebu Labusifasane, you made the best bet, or one of your best bets on the card. And as I told you, whenever you tip on the show and you like a horse, they shorten. Found the money into 3-1, delivered. And on the same day, you made your value bet number 3, Crew of Ice, who ran an absolute blinder. So are we sticking with the same horses, or are we looking elsewhere this time around?
No, D's, we're definitely sticking with the same horses. I've actually gone the other way around this time. I'm going Crew of Ice to beat Ipembele Busivizane, and I think the race is going to be between those two. Unfortunately, the Smith horse is drawn out at 9, whereas Moosey's drawn at 1. It's probably going to be the difference in the race. I don't think you need to go deep here. The place accumulator, the 3 and 7 will get you through. The pick 6 you might want to add in Defining Moment, but I think those two, the 3 and the 7, going to get you through everything, D's, and I think Crew of Ice will win this race.
Whilst and Crew of Ice will win this race, 6-1. You must hear Grant at the end. He just throws in a chirp or two. I think Crew of Ice will win this race. That's trading at 6-1, guys. And Itebu Labusifasane is trading at 3-1. That is race number 8. Grant, just think about 3 more runners whilst you have a look at that form book. I know I'm putting you on the spot because we love the quartet to close things off. Just think about 3 more runners while I just recap on the betting for the guys. Number 2 is at 7-1. Number 3 at 6-1. 5 at 11-2. 6 at 7-1. 7 at 3-1. And the value in the race, Grant likes the source, number 3, Crew of Ice. Just gave you a bit more time there, Grant. I know you like numbers 3 and 7 with the value being 3. But just 3 more runners for our guys that enjoy playing the quartet to close things off on a Friday.
2, 11 and 12. These 2, 11 and 12.
2, 11 and 12. 2 being Defining Moment at 7-1. 2, 11 being an outsider. I haven't even got the betting down, so that's in double figures. Angelisi, and 12, Colorama. Number 12, Chase Mojin. 11 and 12 could be the good outsiders there to boost that dividend. Grant, you've given something on this for the show. You want to go through it?
We're just going to do race 8 quickly, please, if you don't mind.
Yes, go for it.
All right, I've heard very, very strong in race 8 for the 8-horse Charlie Malone. A very good first run here. Muzi Yanni up, unfortunately drawn out at a little bit wide. And the other horse in the race that I do fancy is the Cape Town horse Hatch Pride. He's raced at Durbanville, so he's used to a tight track. They have travelled down, they are here, and it was a solid post-maiden run to Yamadori, so he's got to go in. But I think the horse at the back that we're going to be looking for is definitely Charlie Malone. We're going to have Charlie Malone in the quartet with Hatch Pride, and we'll probably add in a horse like On the Road Again, Mr. Bodacious, and Timbavati River for the quartets.
I'll tell you what has happened here, Grant, because I'm as puzzled as you are, because you know me, I very seldom miss a trick. I don't have the pages here for race number 8. So I thought, what the hell, it's already over. And that's why I said go to your bet. But I managed to get something here whilst you were talking. In race number 8, number 1 is a scratching. Number 2 is 22 to 10. Number 4 is at 8 to 1. Charlie Malone, number 8, is at 18 to 10. 7 is at 7 to 1. And it's double figures the balance. Apologies, racing fans. Apologies, Grant. Grant, just recapping in that last race, numbers 2 and 8, and me thinking race 7 was the lucky last, giving you that quartet, etc. Way off. Grant's going 2 and 8 in the place accumulator. So, Grant, we'll go to this race rather. Thanks for giving us the 3 numbers in race number 7. Can you give us 3 numbers for the quartet in race number 8? Because this is the last race now.
Yeah, this is the last race. These, I would actually go the 2 and 8 as roving bankers. Add in Timbavati River, On the Road Again, and Mr. Bodacious.
Timbavati River, number 7, On the Road Again, and where's
number
that?
4, number 5.
Numbers 4 and 5. Numbers 4, 5, and 7 in numerical order, along with Grant's numbers 2 and 8. So that's it. That's how we close things off there for race number 8. And Grant, let's do it now. Do you want to go through your bets that you've given for the show?
Yeah, will do, Dees. Thank you very much. The best bet on the card, race 6, number 2, Port Louis. My value bet, race 5, number 4, Abound. And my suggested bet is a place accumulator where we start off in leg 1, 1 and 2, by 1, 4 and 8, by 1 and 11, by 4 and 7, by banker 2, by 3 and 7, by 2 and 8 for 96 Rand.
Yeah, that is 96 Rand, 100%, and you can multiply that perm out if you double up or maybe even treble up. And throughout the show, Grant has given us some good advice with regards to the structure of the exotics, and he's picked out a few big price horses beside the 2 that he's given as the best bet and the value bet. Grant Paddock, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dees, and have a good day tomorrow, punters. Bye-bye.
Thank you to Grant Paddock, thanks to the Gallop TV team, and hopefully you can end off on a high. It is end of the month. It's the 29th, 30 days of September. So Saturday will be the last day of the month, but it's the last day of the month that we race in Gqeberha, Fairview. And looking at this card and just what Grant has given us, there's lots of value to be had. To you, the valued racing fan, hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful afternoon punting at Fairview. And from myself, Dees Dana, and the Gallop TV team, Grant Paddock, until we meet again, you take care. Salami Kashle.